All right, here we go.
Episode
Break
31.
it down. Tino's gonna bust. All right, guys, how's everybody doing? We are here at Let's Just Talk every single Tuesday. We're really excited because there's all kinds of stuff to talk about. Sometimes we're trying to figure out what to talk about today. There's so much stuff. We're trying to figure out how we're going to fit this stuff in. So appreciate you guys and joining us. And we're here with myself, David, Angel.
What's up?
And Mr. Tino. And and behind the computer screens, we have Justin. And he's going to be running that. And he's getting better. He's learning it and learning OBS, which is the software that we use to bring in clips and whatnot and different things like that. So we're going to be talking about a few things. Just yesterday, we had this Zelenskyy meeting with Trump.
I heard something about that.
Yeah.
A couple of people talking about that.
Yeah, so
I heard it was pretty calm.
We have that. We have, what subject did you have again?
Oh, I didn't. I didn't.
Department
Oh,
of
you sent that
Education?
clip, though.
Oh, yeah, I sent that one clip with Charlie Clerk. We'll see that a little bit
Okay,
later.
we'll be seeing that. And what else? What are a couple other things we're going to hit?
There was a guy, what was something about a file that he had an island? Larry?
P. Diddy's homie?
Jim? Oh, Epstein. Epstein files, phase 1.
Yeah, so
That's
we're going to
right.
be talking about that. So, let me get my little buttons ready because you never know what we're going to talk about here. Anyways, I think I want to kick it off, starting off, and I apologize for you guys being able to see through my chest. So you can see the cars going through it.
Yeah.
So I completely forgot.
He has a pure heart.
You have a pure heart.
A pure heart.
Obviously, these are green screens behind us, and we never wear green. I always tell these guys, don't wear green. And guess what I'm wearing today? Green. It's the House of Rest logo in green.
Bed day.
So, this thing yesterday basically is, depending on which clip you watch,
Yeah.
could make it can, you can look at it all kinds of different ways. Obviously, CNN has chosen to make it look like this little guy's being bullied, you know, the way they cut it. But it's like a 40-minute video in its entirety. When something is like that, you should always watch the full video.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you get to watch the full sit down?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah. So the whole thing is about 40 minutes, and it was supposed to be a formality. I have a few things I wanted to share, but did you want to talk about it first? Or?
But just the if I correct me if I'm right, as far as context, they had the meeting prior to. They had a private meeting. And then after the private meeting, they go into the media session.
Yeah.
So the stuff that was, so when Zelensky's coming to this meeting, he already knows what Trump's position is of what he's going to offer on the table.
Yeah.
They have that private meeting, and then from that private meeting, they have the media session, and then that's where everything goes south, probably about 25 minutes in.
Yeah.
25, 30 minutes in. But the meeting had already taken place that was supposed to be private. That's what I understood.
And even before that meeting, just to fly him over, there was some talks that were.
Yeah, because they'd been going back and forth.
It should have been a formality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know a week ago, or maybe maybe a little bit less than a week, Trump had made the address of how he wants to talk about the minerals.
Yeah.
Not the other part yet. Let's talk about that later. And then Zelenskyy comes out 2 or 3 days later and says, "That's all fine. I'll resign," even because that's when Trump was telling him, you're a dictator. And he says, "I'll resign. I'll step down," but Ukraine wants to be a part of NATO. So he pushed back.
Yeah.
About 3 days prior to that, still flies in, has a private meeting. We have the media session, and then that's what goes down. That's what happens. If I understood the scenario correct.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I think Zelenskyy came in with his own agenda.
Yeah.
Willing to go ahead and flip the script real quick and thought he was going to be able to, I guess, navigate everything of how he wanted it to go. Because in the very beginning, it was all peaceful. It was all, you could see the smiles and you see Uncle Donald winking and just like, here we go. You know what I mean? Like
Even defending him about him not coming in a suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he defended him.
Yeah. Like, how are you going to do that, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the president of the United States. You know what I mean? So, and you're not one of these Americans who doesn't typically see this man. You know how it rolls, man. You know, professionalism is professionalism. And
It looked like he was wearing something out of Burlington's.
So, yeah, I think that's what went on. I thought it was going really, really good until he started coming. Like I said, he was trying to navigate through that situation himself.
So, you know, I remember watching it. I didn't watch it live. I almost watched it live because the little live was still on there.
Yeah, me too.
So I just, you know how you can go back on it. And basically, I did a little bit of homework. And so in case some of you are watching this and maybe this is stuff some of you don't know. Basically, why the minerals? Why are they making it about these minerals? Why is that an argument? Why did JD get into it? Why did he feel disrespected? And not only that, but disrespected the White House, disrespected the presidency, disrespected the country. Why? Because if you don't know, I can see how somebody could be like, man, they kind of blew up on him for no reason. But the fact is this, there has been no way around peace in Ukraine. For those of you that don't know, Ukraine was part of the USSR, Russia. And so it was one of the nations that has broke off when the whole thing fell apart back in the 90s, 80s?
80s during when the Soviet Union was dismantled.
Yeah, the Soviet Union was dismantled, and Ukraine was one of them. So that's why a lot of the people, half of Ukraine, consider themselves Russians. In the same way, like how this used to be Mexico. So in the same way, they're like, well, this might be America now, but we're still, you know.
But just imagine that being much more current.
Exactly. So here's the problem, though, is Ukraine wanted to join NATO. Now, here's the problem with that, is that NATO made a promise that they would never get closer to Russia, not even, literally, they say not even an inch closer.
That was part of the treaty, was it not?
Yes.
Of the dismantling of the Soviet Union.
Yes.
That they wouldn't take 1 inch closer.
Yes. That was a promise.
That was a promise by NATO and the United States that we wouldn't move any closer and we would keep it at bay and that would keep the peace.
Yeah. So Zelenskyy does not want Ukraine to be sucked into Russia. At the same time, NATO can't let Ukraine join, because then it's an act of war against Russia, against all of United Nations. So this has been a problem. This is why there's no solutions to end this war. Now, let's fast forward to what the talks were yesterday. It's basically because Ukraine has, what are they called? The deal,
Peace treaty.
No, not the elements. What do they call them? The things that are in the ground, the minerals.
Oh, the minerals.
Yeah. So I don't know who came up with this. I don't know if Trump came up with this. I don't know if his team came up with this. But this is, to me, it's playing chess. This is playing chess because Ukraine can't join NATO because it involves all of us. Russia won't pull out because. So how are you going to fix this situation? So Trump says, I'll tell you what. Let's make a deal to where United States gets minerals.
Well, but back up. The reason why that was able to come to the table was because the United States of America during the Biden administration had given $350 billion of support, some financial, some military goods, to support them against the war in Russia.
Yeah.
It was just the giving. That was it. There was no record. There was no anything from that. And then when Trump found out, maybe, at least when I had heard, maybe he knew earlier, but I had heard maybe a month ago, a month and a half ago, that the European Union had also invested into Ukraine in the form of a loan. And that Ukraine had said, we'll pay you back. And then that's when Trump was like, hold on here. Whoa. They gave $100 million. I think it was $100 million, maybe less.
Million or billion?
Billion, I mean.
Yeah.
We gave $350 billion with nothing in return, You gave them a loan. And how does this work? Because you were surviving because of us? And then that's where they said, okay, let's make this a trade then. Mm-hmm. Then that's where the mineral earth and all of that.
Yeah. So
from my understanding.
So there's minerals in Ukraine. Now, here's the thing is that if they do ceasefires, if they do treaties, Russia has never kept their end of the bargain.
Yeah.
But
from the bushes all the way through.
But here's the thing that this is to me it is genius that Trump says, you know what? You can't join NATO, but this is how we stop the war. You let us go in there and get minerals, and the minerals are really close to Russia.
Yeah.
So if we create United States installments there and we have Americans there,
contractors, and
that is how you're going to pull Russia out, because the moment they step in when Americans are there, now they got problem. Now they got beef with us.
Yep.
That's your peace treaty.
Exactly.
That's as good as it's going to get. You have Americans there, American contractors. Russia ain't going to do nothing.
Yep.
So the formality was this. He was supposed to fly in yesterday, make nice, sign the agreement, have lunch with Trump.
Say thank you.
Say thank you and have lunch with Trump. And then they were going to have a what is it when they talk to the press? Like
like he did with the
I can't
president,
remember.
Prime
For
Minister
some reason,
France.
something about our show makes all of our minds go blank.
I know.
I've been talking about this for the last 2 days, and now I can't think of what it is when they
do the dual,
like a public address.
Yeah, the dual address.
That's all it was going to be, guys. So this is why JD got fired up and Trump got fired up, because he was supposed to come, play nice, sign the agreement. It allows America to go there. The moment that happens, Russia pulls out. There's your peace treaty right there.
Yeah.
And Zelenskyy, for whatever reason, knowing that there's live cameras, chose to speak out of the narrative than what they were supposed to talk, and starts to say all these bad things and this and that, whatever. And that's what. So that is why JD got so fired up.
Did you guys catch, prior to the riling up point, several times where Zelenskyy kept on bringing out pictures and files and dogging Putin, trying to bait Trump to say something negative. And then Trump made a couple statements. And then finally, even before the riling up part, he said, it doesn't make any sense for me to speak negative of Putin and then after this meeting, get on the phone with Putin.
Say, hey, Vladimir.
Yeah,
how you doing?
Hey, let's talk about it. Let's make a new deal. He said, that's just bad negotiation.
Bad business.
That's bad business. Mm-hmm. So I caught that too. Okay.
Yeah.
So for him to, Uncle Donald was saying about, man, it's a lot of fun to be able to sit around and talk bad about people.
Yeah.
But that's not the kind of business that we're here doing. And that's all he was saying. That's why I say, like, there was the agenda of what was supposed to be talked to, like we had said, that was talked about before the cameras were on.
Yep.
And then everything went on. Like the BBC is saying about how Zelenskyy faced extraordinary dressing down in front of the world's media after President Trump and Vice President Vance demanded that he show more gratitude for years of U.S. support, right? Yeah. Which, tell me something that's wrong in that part right there, right? The Ukrainian president pushed back at suggestion from his more powerful partners that he should work harder to agree a ceasefire with Putin. They responded that he was being disrespectful. Zelenskyy was eventually told to leave the White House early before he and Trump could even take the stage, right?
Yeah, he didn't even get no lunch.
Yeah.
Right. So then it says
the staffers got the lunch,
and the mineral deals, which he had been trailed and praised by both sides this week, was left unsigned. Come back when you're ready for peace, Trump wrote on social media shortly before Zelensky's car pulled away. So the thing about it is if Zelenskyy would have just went in there and talked about the minerals and do this and do that, what the conversation was about.
They had already agreed on this.
Yeah, this was done. But
he
like
flew
I said,
there knowing
but the
that.
whole point about it is he saw the cameras and says, I'm going to switch this over and this and that. And one of the things that I really like that Donald said is because JD had said something like, I'm sorry, Mr. President, for you having to be involved in this. He says, no, that's the whole reason why I've let it go on so far.
Yeah.
Is so that
You
way,
caught that?
that way the nation can see I think the American people need to see this. And I was talking to my brother last night, and I was telling him, I said, the thing about it is what a lot of people don't understand is they think this is Trump trying to play strings. When a lot of these people don't understand, it's these two fools who keep butting heads. And then, like he said, like right here down, where is it at? It says, oh God, I just had it. You haven't been alone. This is Trump saying to him, you haven't been alone. He said, you haven't been alone. We gave you, through this stupid president, $350 billion. Trump said, a reference to Biden. Yeah, man, it was stupid. Because I loved whenever he said, because if it wasn't for us giving you $350 billion worth of equipment, it would have been over in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Then Zelensky had said, he was like, yeah, I already heard it.
Yeah, he started mocking.
I heard Putin say
it'd
2-3 days.
It's 2-3 days. And it's like, yeah, fool, don't you understand that? And that's where I was just like, and then JD, he started going off on dude like, hey, man, you need to be grateful that you would come here and disrespect. And then I'll let you guys go ahead and talk about the rest. But I think Zelensky really, really screwed this up for himself and his country. It's just like you said, like, you were talking about from back in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
You guys remember the movie Lord of War with Nicolas Cage when he was slinging
That's exactly what it's talking about.
That's what that is right there. That's when all of this stuff started funking around because the Ukrainians were coming in, grabbing all the equipment, and then flipping it to the world. So it's just like...
Yeah, have you guys watched... Justin, can you bring up the Lord of War movie cover?
With Nicolas Cage?
With Nicolas Cage. If you guys don't understand what is going on, this is a true story, or Hollywood, it obviously... See? That's what happened. That's why we missed it. There's something he's pressing that's stopping the recording. Did you see that? It completely stopped recording.
How long did it catch?
Just now.
Oh, so we caught it.
Yeah.
Okay. Just maybe when you're moving the mouse, Mijo, make sure the cursor's off of that area.
So there's something that's happening. So just see that red dot in the bottom?
Yeah.
So you guys, can we all just always...
I have my timer going.
No. But if that red dot ain't going, it ain't recording.
So did it delete everything we were doing?
No.
Oh, okay.
But now it's two different clips, so now I have to edit it and put it back.
Merge it together.
It's going to make it a little harder now. A little bit.
Yeah.
But, that's what happened last week.
Oh.
It was a time when I told them to put the thing, that's when it turned off.
Got it.
Something happened.
So just be careful with the mouse. But go on.
It says, but out of the main...
Did he look up the movie?
There's another one with his face just full of bullets.
Yeah, but it's...
But yeah, that's it right there, man. That's explains,
the story.
That explains a lot of what's going on between Ukraine and Russia.
Yeah.
A lot of it. It's not everything, and like David said, it's very Hollywood.
Yeah.
But it gives you the real base foundation of what got it cracking.
Yeah.
So... Yeah, I just, there was a lot that was said, and we could stay on this probably for the whole hour. You know what I mean? If we broke down all what was going on between Zelensky, JD, and Donald.
I did have some charts that would make a lot of sense. Can you bring those charts up, Justin?
To talk about what the contract was.
Yeah, go all the way to the other. Yeah. Okay. So basically, U.S. is obviously moving towards clean energy. We know that. I mean, this is the way the future. This is the way it's got to go. So it has the three. Is it of the U.S. moving toward clean energy? Do the next one. So these on the yellow, these are the things Ukraine has: graphite, lithium, titanium, and rare earth metals. These are really important for computers, for electric cars, for all of these things.
Because Trump said the United States of America has very little of this.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of it. Go to the next one.
We have oil.
Yeah. So there it is. Look. So it says lithium and graphite just for batteries. Now, obviously, we know that... I already know people are getting ties with Elon. Because, I mean, who else... I don't know who told Trump this, but clearly Elon knows where the minerals are at.
Oh, yeah.
And where's the next one? Oh, that's the one with all the three. Look, graphite, 19 million, what does that say? They have a reserve of 19 million tons of graphite, lithium. They're 1/3 of Europe's lithium reserves are in Ukraine. That's crazy. 1/3 of lithium. Obviously, you heard that name in batteries, things like that. And titanium. Ukraine was producing 7% of world's titanium. Is that the last clip? And these are all the other minerals. A whole list of the other minerals that that they have there. So this is what this was about. So these are things that are everyday use. Things like our phones. Your phone has those minerals.
Yeah.
So it's a smart move, man.
It is.
It's a smart move.
It's just very unfortunate because he's not fixing the eggs. Because we're not having eggs.
The eggs.
We don't have eggs for 50 cents a dozen. You know what I mean? Like, some of these people are so ridiculous when they're talking about things that they're expecting Donald to do in how long's he been in there? For less than 2 months?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. A month and a week.
And I mean, the things that these people are crying about and this and that, whatever, like, they want 1940 prices, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They want 25-cent cheeseburgers again. And that would be pretty good. Remember
even
McDonald's?
the dollar Whoppers.
Remember McDonald's, like 29-cent hamburgers and 39-cent cheeseburgers?
Dude,
Anyways,
I gained so much weight on the dollar Whoppers.
But that's the thing that they're going for. Like, it's genius, bro. Like, God did what God has done on purpose.
Yeah.
For all of us to be able to use each other in the way that we need to use each other. We have this, you guys have this. How about we trade? You need what we have, we need what you have.
Yeah.
I think God's brilliance of this world is absolutely exactly what I said. It's genius beyond our thought. But these people are so caught up. It's the greed. It's the greed of the world, man. You know what I mean? And it's just very unfortunate. And again, I'm not saying that Donald is Jesus or anything and he's my savior and blah, blah, blah. I ain't saying all that. But when you see him doing a move, understand that you don't understand.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's just the art of the deal, man. It's the art of the deal. When I'll give you an example, just, obviously in a much, much more smaller scale. I have we do insulation. So I've got certain clients that we do more work with than others. Yeah. And we had a situation where we were working on some tract homes, and there was a mistake because every time when I'm sending in an estimate and a contract, there is state regulations we have to fulfill.
Yeah.
I have to make sure that those state regulations are fulfilled, and so does the company. In turn, has to make sure that they're being fulfilled. Well, something fell through, and I missed it, and he missed it. So it wasn't on the contract.
Yeah.
It was needing to get done. And it wasn't needing to get done to one home. It was needing to get done to about 500 homes. And we caught it on home 3.
Wow.
So that's a big deal. It wasn't a big amount, but it was probably like, let's say $600. If I eat $600, 500 homes, that's a big deal in the contract.
Yeah.
If he eats $600, that's a big deal in contract.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, check this out. Let's do 60-40. I'll take a 60 hit. I'll explain why 10% I'm willing to take on it above you, but I need you to embrace that 40%.
Yeah.
And so after we went back and forth, I had to explain this is why it's 60. Why? Because honestly, that was my fault. I should have caught it, even though he should have caught it, but that's my job.
Yeah.
So I took responsibility for that extra 10%. We did 60-40. We met where we were, renegotiated the contract, added the addendum. Boom. Now we're done. And to be able to have continuous relationships go. That's just the art of the deal. That's part of what that is.
Yeah.
And for Trump to come up with the means of going, okay, you guys jacked us with all this money. We have no way to get that money back. Mm-hmm. But you have something we need. You have something we need. So let's talk. Mm-hmm. And like you were saying, if American contractors and businesses are the buffer zone between Russia and Ukraine, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
Because his complaint was, well, he did that to Bush. He did that to Obama. He did that to Biden.
Yeah.
I'm not them.
He said he's never done it to me.
Exactly. I'm not them. And they never had that. Mm-hmm. They never had that. And if you're wanting us to approve F-16s in Ukraine, when his whole campaign was no more wars, no, we ain't doing that. We're not doing that. Send 250,000 soldiers. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
Let us benefit here, pay us back through this means, sign the deal.
Everybody wins.
Everybody wins. And understanding, if you studied history at all with World War I and World War II, contracts are signed when wars are closed. People, responsibilities allocated out. Money is due out. All of that stuff is legal formality. And Trump was saying, let's stop. Let's have a ceasefire now. Today. Let's sign this. Well, but it's Russia. They'll follow through. Let's sign this today so that we can begin this process and then sit down with Putin and negotiate and let Putin know you can't touch our people.
Putin doesn't want this war either.
He doesn't either.
But he's not going to punk out. That's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. And this is a way for Putin to say, you know what? I don't want no beef with the U.S.
Yeah.
We get the minerals, and Zelenskyy gets his nation back. So everybody wins. And
it's like we're growing up, David.
I agree with you.
Yeah. You're 5 years older than me.
Yeah.
You and I. Okay, I'll give you a real example. One time, dude, we got into a big old fight. Me and about 4 of our friends got jumped by about 20 dudes.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, we end up. Cops come. Everything goes. You remember this?
Remind me.
We go to Ernesto's house.
Oh yeah. Well, I wasn't there.
You weren't there, but I don't even know who called you. Did I? I don't know if I called you or somebody else called you.
No, Ernesto did.
Okay. So they called David. And then before I know it, we're heading over to the other side of town. And we find the guys, the older guys, and here's the thing. They're younger than David, older than me. So they're not afraid of me because they're older than me.
Yeah.
But they're afraid of David and everybody else that he brought because they're older than them. And so what was the beef? You got beef with him, then you got beef with me. We don't want beef with you, then you don't got beef with them.
Yeah.
That's the deal, right? Well, I didn't know that was your little brother. That's the deal. Ukraine, Russia don't want to mess with us.
No.
They're not afraid of you. They don't want to mess with us. That's the deal.
Yeah.
So why are you barking loud now?
I don't know.
And
it was weird.
That was the weird part.
They need to do this.
I'm about finished waiting for my money, punk.
But you know what was weird is how many liberal media guys.
Yeah.
This is what annoyed me.
Oh, I'm reading out of it right now.
Said they looked like bullies.
Yeah, right here.
You know what it is? Here's what it is. Most women aren't used to the way men talk when women aren't around. And unfortunately, there's a lot of men that don't know how men talk when women aren't around. There's times where Sharon used to tell me, like, that's kind of rough. Like when I would try to rebuke one of the brothers or something like this and that, I'm like, that was rough. That was just straight talk. Because I come out of prison. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's men dealing with men. There ain't no women here. Your mom ain't going to save you, bro. You know what I mean? So you got to handle yourself with your mouthpiece or it's going to get busted up. And so it's the same thing. So when you see men talking, the rest of the world has been so sissified that they don't know how to act or don't know how to take it when grown men are talking. That's what it comes down to.
Well, you've heard me say this. I said,
I agree with you.
Men that grow up in a house full of men understand tone of voice real well. Because if you don't, you're going to learn.
Yeah.
But one man getting raised around a whole bunch of women, they're tone deaf.
Yeah.
Takes them a little bit.
It takes them a minute because all their sisters and everyone's loud and everybody's
loud.
Everyone's loud. But you get that dude around a bunch of men and he's going to get taught.
Yeah. This is my thing, like with Mark Driscoll, amazing preacher. There was a big old scandal because he was in Seattle.
Yeah.
And people said there's a scandal and he got thrown out of the church, this and that.
He was mean. He was rough.
Yeah. I still don't have an issue, even after hearing the whole story about him from the opposition. I heard that whole audio series. And I'm just like, the whole time I'm waiting to hear what the problem was. You know what the problem was?
It was Seattle.
Is they couldn't handle a real dude. And because of that, they got their feelings hurt. And he moved to the perfect state. He went to Arizona.
Yeah.
Because that's where some men are at. And you know what? His church is doing great.
Yep. Picked up right off day one. Boom.
You know,
flying.
and that's just what it comes down to. Now, before we switch the subject, we've been on the subject for quite some time. You talked about a tweet, though.
Yeah. Well, and this was the thing that for me, Zelenskyy, when I was watching, I was telling Justin yesterday, I said, when he went that route,
Yeah.
my heart broke.
Who?
Mine did.
When Zelenskyy did?
When Zelenskyy did, my heart broke for all of the young men and all the parents that were anticipating it's going to end.
Yeah, it could have ended yesterday.
Oh, you're talking
Ukrainians.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I can understand
That could have ended yesterday.
Did you see the
Today
photo?
would have been a day of celebration.
Yeah, exactly. Did you see the photo of the ambassador of Ukraine going like this? She was like, "Oh my God, what?"
Right here, I have it right here. It says,
Send it to Justin, see if you can post it.
Oh, no.
If you can find it, Justin.
It just says, but out of the main camera.
It's just a photo. Remember I showed you?
But out of the main camera shot was another site in the room. Zelensky's ambassador to Washington, Oksana, I don't know how to say the name, who was spotted with her head in her hands as the arguments escalated.
When did it stop?
As I was typing out Zelenskyy.
So something on the typing is connected to that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, at least we know.
Now we know.
We'll work on it. Because that's
Thanks for catching that, Mule.
yeah. But that's the part to me that I was sitting there and I'm going, these poor kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These kids, everybody was anticipating. He flew over there. Everyone knew what was on the table. Everyone knew, because it's not only going to beef the industry of the United States, it was going to beef the industry there locally as well. Hotels, housing, industry.
What did Trump say? 2,000 people died just last week.
Exactly.
If we had done this, because he thought they were going to sign,
Yeah.
there would have been 2,000 people still alive.
Yep.
But now?
And so the before just brings up the tweet, the reason for, like when Trump said, if you don't want to sign, then we're out.
Yeah.
We'll let you guys handle it, and it ain't going to end pretty.
Yeah. And he said, you're going to lose.
Yeah.
Did you see his face when he said that to him?
Dude, that was straight up.
Yeah.
Again, man talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Man talk, bro. That's all that was. Like, this ain't no sugar.
No.
This ain't nothing. You're going to lose.
You're the president.
Yeah.
I need you to grasp this reality of the decision you're making right now. So,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
well, I'm just going to say, so then I start hearing this, and I don't know if you guys heard this. The EU, the European Union, and then Turkey stood up and said, we'll take the place of the United States and go mine those mineral earth.
Yeah, okay.
And this is what they said late yesterday and this morning. We'll go ahead and work this treaty with you. Forget the United States, because the EU doesn't want us involved. That's been a whole different situation.
That's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, exactly. So they're trying to come in.
Yeah.
And it's like, Turkey, y'all were involved
Yeah.
when it was the Bush and the Obama administration. So that ain't going to work.
You think Putin cares?
So
He's like, oh, Turkey?
I know.
We're having dinner.
It's like we're having Thanksgiving. So do you have the tweet? Woo. Yeah.
Man.
So then this is posted.
What's
If you can get zoom in on that tweet.
Oh, there it is.
Breaking. The president of Congo just offered the United States ownership of his country's minerals to entice President Trump to put an end to the war backed by Rwanda. Congo holds more than half of the world's cobalt and coltan. They also have substantial deposits of gold, copper, tin, lithium, etc. China currently has a considerable influence in Congo's mineral sector, and before them, it was the Europeans. The United States is also one of the most mineral rich, and so forth. So all of a sudden, here's these countries that said, "Hey, they don't want help. Trump, come over here and help us."
And you know what's awesome is Congo was where those 70 Christians were beheaded.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You know how many Christians right now saw that and say, please come.
If they don't want your help, we'll take your help.
Yeah.
Because knowing that even if we didn't put soldiers, but the same scenario.
Yeah.
Same scenario. You're not going to do what you're going. What
Yeah,
you're
if you
doing.
got United States or Rwanda, whoever it is, or these Muslim extremists,
Yep.
they're going to think twice.
Exactly. And so it just to Ukraine, to the president, all we can get into what we thought about.
People are playing chess, man. They ain't playing checkers.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
3-level chess, dude.
Yeah.
3-level chess.
And you know who's really playing chess above all of them is God.
Yeah. God's watching it all pan out. You know what I mean? And
it goes the way he wants.
Yeah. I tell you, man, those cameras really screwed Zelenskyy up.
Yeah.
Those cameras really screwed him up, bro. I don't know what he was thinking.
And then he doubled down with Brett Baer later on, afterwards.
I didn't see that.
He doubled down. He didn't apologize. He said, I don't think we did anything wrong.
Damn, bro. You're yeah.
He's tripping.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude.
That dude's tripping.
But that's what he said.
What I think is that he got so used to the way Biden was
Yeah. But
that he'd show up in his little green suit and all of a sudden everybody's going to throw money.
see, I can't. I know. You know what? I have to disagree with. I have to disagree with that because you know what, dude. I'm not saying that Zelensky's a fool. I'm saying he screwed up. And the thing about it is like this.
He came into a room with some big dogs.
Hey man, and the man that you were sitting in there with, you already know him. You got a personal relationship with him. What were you thinking?
Yeah.
Did you think you were going to be able to walk in because some cameras were in your face?
Yeah.
And you were going to
You
walk
think
all
Trump
over?
cares about cameras?
Yeah, dude. Like, dude, come on. The number one thing people hate about Donald Trump is his voice of his opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, dude? Like, he literally walks around with people who are constantly like this. This is what I want to say to this. And then they sit there and they type it, and then they say, you got that? They have a person for Instagram, a person for Facebook, a person for TikTok, and all these people are like, everything Donald is saying. Like, man, that man doesn't care. But that's what I'm saying, man. He screwed up. And so I can't say it's because he got so used to Biden.
Yeah.
You should have known who you were talking to.
Yeah.
That's why Vladimir
was advising
is sitting where he's at like this. Like, thanks, Zelenskyy. I appreciate it.
Who was advising him that gave him the green light to feel that there's no way that he did that alone.
I don't know.
I don't believe.
You think somebody hyped him up?
I'm not even saying within Ukraine. What other nations gave him promises that says if they back out, don't worry about it.
We got you.
We got you.
Only China would be able to do that.
But you get what I'm saying?
did.
And he did it.
I didn't think about it like that, but that's a good perspective.
And he did that, and then all of a
Doesn't
sudden
that
he
sound
went
good?
like,
Fell and bumped your head, bro.
oh man.
I was watching this video that talked about United States in comparison to other nations. It was talking about money. It was talking about military. It was talking about soldiers. It was talking about jets. It was talking about, I mean, it's insane. Like I used to worry when a few years ago, and they're like, man, we might go to war with Iran, or we might. Oh, bro. When you look at the comparisons across the world, I mean, of course, God, of course, that goes without saying. But when you start talking about financial and military might, nobody can come close. Nobody can come close. I don't care if you have 1 million soldiers in China. Can you get them here? Because we can get ours over there. You give us 48 hours, we'll touch anybody on this earth.
Yeah.
And it was just insane.
From anywhere.
So when I saw that, and I'm like, this is a YouTube video. Imagine being in the know-how, in the situation room, and who knows classified stuff that we will never know.
Yeah.
Dude, this is why Trump is talking the way he's talking.
That's why he has. Okay, so my mentor in the business, I heard somebody say one time, if you don't have confidence in yourself of getting started, have confidence of who you do business with, meaning who backs me up.
Yeah.
When I'm offering whatever I'm offering in business, have confidence that your business is dealing with these people.
Yeah.
And that should give you, so your confidence doesn't need they need you.
If I fall on the sword, who else is falling on there with me that their word is gold enough to fall with me?
Yeah.
In all of that.
Yeah.
And he cited my take. This is just my opinion. I hadn't necessarily heard anything. It made me think about it when I seen Turkey and the EU kind of, the BBC start wording some of the stuff the way that they did. It just made me think and say, Who got in your ear before you went out there?
Yeah.
What made you think?
You tripped and bumped your head, man.
Yeah, dude, that you could, because here's the thing. Ukraine's problem is Russia.
Yeah.
If that went the way that it went and Trump would have backed up, we're not looking at Russia. We're looking at vultures bigger than just one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's why when I'm watching all the weak media and they're like, oh, he was a bully. No, man. He stood the ground that was going to dictate the rest of his term for these 4 years. Anybody else coming in, you better understand.
Yeah.
Don't get this twisted. You want to do it in private, you want to do it in public. Let's roll.
They did say, though, and then I'm done with this topic. They did say in the campaigning between the two of them, between Laffy Daffy, what's her name? Kamala, right? They did say that who would you want in the room with negotiating with these men?
Yeah.
You want her or you want him?
Oh my gosh. Can you
You
imagine?
imagine if see like Zelenskyy coming in, I totally would understand why you flipped the script.
If that would have happened, he would have left with another 350 billion yesterday.
Yeah. And half of America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And half of America.
And you know what ended up happening is our young men would have been over there fighting.
Yep.
Americans would have been there.
Yep.
Now,
I agree.
Now let me throw this in before we go to any other subject.
And we got sons, man.
Yeah.
All of us here at this
Absolutely.
table.
Yeah.
We have sons.
Yeah, they would all be there.
Yeah.
Because of the draft that they
Absolutely.
wanted to bring it back.
Yeah, because we were preparing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were preparing.
It's easy for somebody that doesn't have sons
Yeah.
to say that. And I'm just like, oh, heck no.
So what did you guys think? Just to be fair, so that way we're not all. I'll throw in my piece on this. So not everyone that listening is always like, hey, you guys are all Trump, 100%. Everything Trump does. No. In my opinion, I do think that J.D. Vance did, I don't want to say cross a line, because I don't think he did.
No.
I don't think he did. But I do believe that after that scenario, that Trump supported him on the surface and he needed to as a good leader in the moment to defend him. I do think in private, hey, JD, that probably wasn't the best, because when JD starts making certain statements, he does hesitate. Like it's like when when Zelenskyy starts pressing him.
Yeah.
And then he starts asking him, so have you been there?
Oh,
And then it's like, okay, how do I word this? I don't want to say this. I don't want to, I don't want to miss.
Who, JD?
JD did.
Yeah.
And so he kind of got off guard, even though he was kind of going in on Zelenskyy, and then Zelenskyy went in on him. And so I don't think he did anything wrong, but I do think that was a moment that probably in private, I can see Trump and him having a private conversation afterwards.
Yeah.
I could see the like bring it back a little bit.
Yeah, let me do that.
Yeah. I've gotten in situations like that in the past before Christ, where I was with homeboys or whatever, and somebody, one of my friends, got out of hand and arguing with dude. But now dude is acting up, so now we got to do something. And it ends up being a big old fight. And at the end of the whole thing, I remember like, bro, why'd you do that? Like, you got all of us involved now. I mean, I'm going to roll with you,
Yeah.
but that was unnecessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I was that guy. Unfortunately, I was that guy. You know what I mean? I'm the one who screwed up a lot of stuff. So
Because like he brought up the Biden administration campaign.
Yeah.
He brought him, it's kind of like,
Yeah. It's kind of like the ex-girlfriend.
yeah, it's like, JD, that didn't have to come in this conversation. That had nothing to do with Ukraine and Russia.
Yeah.
That was dirt. To Zelensky's defense, Biden was the current president.
Yeah.
And Kamala was possibly coming in under that same administration. They just gave him $350 billion.
Yeah.
350.
Yeah, with no questions asked, blank
To
check.
the B.
So what do you expect him to do?
Yeah. What does Elon own? What, 333 billion?
Something like that.
Something like that.
What does he own? I thought it was
worth.
almost $1 trillion. He's getting to getting to that.
His personal is
Yeah.
Personal wealth?
333 billion.
I thought it was more than that. Okay, maybe I don't.
billion, 1 or 2, give or take.
Give or take a couple $100 billion. But no, that was my take. That was my take on that. Just for everyone that's, you guys are just Trump, supporters, and no.
Yes.
I think Trump when he hit the brakes was when Zelenskyy made what sounded like a threat.
Yeah.
And that's when he hit.
Because before that, Trump was like just letting them go at it.
Yeah, yeah.
But the moment he says, well, you know what? You got a big ocean. He goes, and you know what? You're going to feel it in the future. That's where Trump's like, oh, you're trying to.
Because when
I'm going to take that as a threat.
When he stepped in and said, you've talked enough, I was like, oh, that's all. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
This is done. This is done here.
Yeah.
And because it's funny because.
And he curled up like this.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah. I thought he was going to go into a fetal position.
He went to the car and cried.
You ever hear Trump talking and then
where's the crying motion? Don't we have a crying
I don't have a. Wait, guys, wait.
Hold on.
He went to the car and cried.
Which one is it?
I don't know, but I thought
We got to do it. We got to do it. Are you going to cry?
yeah.
Are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying.
No, he went to the car and cried.
But I think it's hilarious that sometimes when Trump goes in these tangents, and all of this, you can feel the force of what he's saying in the moment. Yeah. And then he'll go into grandpa mode. And then he'll go, because that's not nice.
Yeah.
That's not nice.
He does say that.
Dude, I saw Zelenskyy shrink on camera. That was an amazing magic trick.
Yeah.
You don't have the cards right now. That was something.
He was, I'm not playing cards.
Yeah, I know. It's like, come on, dude.
Dude, did you realize that Trump mocked him?
Oh, when?
Did you catch that?
I didn't.
When Trump, he's like, Zelensky's right there, and he goes, like he right in his face, bro. You didn't catch that?
I didn't. I watched that
Watch
interview.
it again, dude.
Yeah, I watched that.
He straight up copied him and went like this. I can't remember what it was he said, but he mocked him and copied him, mimicked him.
That's funny. But no, I'm glad he stood his ground the way that he did. Yeah. Whether it was perfect or whatever, he needed to do that for the world to see. The United States needed to see Zelenskyy for who he was and how he's acted, because
that's what he said.
They were talking about how that he would do this to Biden and run him over.
Oh yeah, of course.
And that staffers would call Zelenskyy prior to and say, you need to stop doing that.
Yeah.
You need to stop yelling at him. You need to stop asking for so much and all this stuff before, because you're running his patience.
The last time I saw him in Congress, they had Ukrainian flags up instead of United States.
I've seen that.
Donald also had said about it too. He was like, with Obama and with Clinton and with Bush. No, I'm sorry. Obama,
Bush,
and Biden. He said that these men didn't respect them.
Yeah.
But they respect me.
Yeah.
And I was like, that word respect, it means afraid.
Yeah. It's fear.
It's fear. They didn't fear those men, but they fear me. And so again, like you said, a lot of people who listen to this, they can listen to the three of us and say that, Donald Trump, and we're not saying Donald Trump is God. We just understand, like David said, we just understand man talk. We understand chess. We understand that it's like he said, you're gambling with millions of lives.
Yeah. And disrespecting the United States.
Yes. You're dealing with people's lives, and I'm here to help those people more than you are of the president of that country. I'm here to help you. That kind of stuff. Yes, that's who I want as a president.
Yeah.
I keep hearing about, he's the politician. Yeah, that's why I'm so grateful we don't have a politician as a president.
I think here's the thing though, is that people haven't thought about is he's more dangerous now. When I say danger, I mean to the left.
Yeah, I understand.
Than before, because before he had to do things and play things right so he can get a second term.
Yep.
Now there's no more term.
It's go time.
It's go time. He doesn't have to do anything to please anybody. He's going to do what he has to do in order to set the direction of this nation for our future kids and grandkids.
Yeah.
Because what else is there?
Very good.
There is no other term.
Rogan says Trump knows he's on limited time, so it's go time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what are we going to sit there and go, well, but you were a bully. Okay, let's say he was. In all practicality, let's say he was. Does he not have the right for that to have that role in that particular situation?
Yeah.
Because the reason why
Sometimes you got to be a bully.
Exactly, but what benefits Ukraine is for the United States to be that bully.
Yeah.
That's why he's asking for help to the United States, because we're the bully.
Yep.
And I hate to say it that way, and that maybe I'm not talking righteousness and unrighteousness, just our reality.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. You know, it's weird because there's something I said a few sermons ago that in conversations, some of the men here at the church, they really liked it. And it was the unlikeliest thing. I had a bunch of brothers say, man, I love when you said, I ain't scared of none of you.
Oh.
You know, did we hear when I said that? And I wasn't trying to be the tough guy. I even said it. I'm not saying
No, it didn't come off like that.
No, not for me.
But here's the thing is that I fear God.
Yeah.
And because of that, I'm not going to compromise the message. I'm not going to water it down. I'm not going to dilute it. I'm not going to lighten it up. I'm not going to. We're going to preach the word of God the way it needs to be taught. And when I said I'm not afraid of any of you, it wasn't like I'm big and tough. It was I fear God. You know, so it was surprising because I had a lot of men come up to me in conversation and say, Pastor, I love that you said that because I'm not used to hearing pastors like that anymore.
It's too bad.
Yeah.
You know, and it's kind of the same with when you have a president that really loves his country and really wants the betterment for this nation. Yeah. And apparently wants the better for even other people's nations.
The world.
Yeah. Because a World War III is going to drag our families and our boys and our future children into it.
Well, for anyone that's listening and you're on the fence and maybe you're not a MAGA supporter, you're not a Trump supporter, you know, however you feel about this, the political, scenario right now, understand this. The world is going to have, there's going to be a nation that will be the world police.
Yeah. And if it's not us.
If it's not us, who is it going to be?
China?
Exactly.
China.
And so we have to understand this is just reality.
Yeah.
If we're not the bully, somebody else is.
Very true.
So who do you prefer to be the bully? The United States that looks strong?
Yeah.
Or another country and another nation dictating terms? And that's the part for those that are on the fence and they're just kind of how they feel and whatever. Listen, get over all of that. There's some basic stuff. There's times as a parent, my son's here listening, that we've had some very straightforward conversations. And maybe the conversation had to do with point A and point B. But then after having those conversations and realizing, no, that's not the center of this issue. This is the center of the issue. And when my sons, who are young adults now, are not willing to capitulate to my terms and my rules of my house,
Yeah.
that's when, and Justin can attest to this. Okay, son, then this is what it is. Do you want to live here or do you not? Because I'm not even talking about what we were talking about before.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about this. I'm putting these terms down. You make your choice because I've just drawn the line. That's not bullying. That is protecting what is mine.
Yeah.
That is protecting my home, my wife, my other kids, his other brothers, or whatever, whether it's Angel, whether it's Justin, even Ezra. I'll put Ezra down. Body slam him. But but you know what I'm saying? As parents, you have to. And so when I'm watching that, it's just like, I'm looking at the liberal media and I'm like, what do you want us to look weak? Do you want us to look inferior? Do you want us to back down? That doesn't register in this environment right now with China, the way that it's going and the aggression that they're pushing in. Russia, dude, they're at war. And I told my wife, they have nuclear capability. Any idea why they haven't used it?
Who, Russia?
Russia.
Yeah, I know. That never gets talked about.
Yeah. Why haven't they used it? Us. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're very aware
Yeah.
of the big dog. It's just everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. You know, there's another thing is that remember back in the 80s and 90s when you would see Mike Tyson walk into a club and all of a sudden there was no fights? Why? Because they feared him. So a lot of times because of the strength, he didn't have to demonstrate. People would be scared.
Who's the boxer that he punched in the face at a club? Green or something.
I don't know.
Yeah, he was.
But he said every man has a plan until they're punched in the mouth.
Tyson punched him at a club.
Yeah.
Busted his face with one hit.
One hit.
And then never wanted to fight Tyson again, but definitely wanted to sue him.
I was gonna say I could have sworn he pressed charges on him.
That's what I was saying.
Remember a couple of years ago, somebody was taunting him on an airplane?
Oh, I know there's been a couple.
Yeah, there's been quite a bit.
Somebody was taunting him on an airplane because he's retired and he's old now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he handled him right there.
Did you see the news media of a guy in Vegas interviewing Tyson in like a local media? And they're having all this conversation. The last question, he said, "So how does it feel being a rapist?"
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, dude, you're a worm. And Tyson just goes off.
You know who admitted they were scared to interview him was Joe Rogan. He said when he was in here, he goes, I don't know what it was, but he changed the atmosphere in this place. He goes, I was scared to ask stuff. I mean, he's second guessing everything he was asking. He goes, he looked like a caged lion. That he's just real calm and real soft spoken, but it boom, like that snap. He goes, and that's scary.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's is that why he got him high on the show?
I don't know. I'm just saying that I think United States is the Tyson, and sometimes we have to own it.
Yeah, man. Be proud.
Yeah.
Be proud, man.
'Cause I'd rather people fear
Be proud.
our nation than our sons have to go and fight.
100%.
Yeah.
Be proud.
When-
It's great to see the military already revamping and doing everything that they're doing.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Especially like what we saw, like whenever he called it a national emergency at the border. Like
Yeah.
them dudes knew, bro. Like they understand that language, and they all said they turned off their TV and they got all ready and they were ready to go.
Yeah.
And it's great to see the military coming back again. I never was. I didn't get to make it to the military, but I grew up with the military background of the family, and so like, yeah, it's really really great because the last 4 years, man, they've just been a laughing stock, and that's very unfortunate. How can you be the most powerful country and military, most powerful country with the military as strong as they are, and be a laughing stock? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just very unfortunate.
Well, and that's why I thought it was a big deal with the cartels, with the Mexican government start siding with the American government on the surface level. I don't know, backdoor stuff.
Yeah.
Because they're going, okay, cartels, you're the 5th largest employer. They're the #1 trade partner.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't partner with them, we collapse.
Yeah.
If we partner with you, we have civil war, but I think we have a better shot because we can't afford for the American government to come in against us.
Yeah.
And that to me, that was another, just on a local level, that's the part that people, you got to understand, when you're listening to all this stuff, all of that is on play. All of that is on the table. Mexico's listening, cartels listening, Canada and all these other stuff, they're listening to this man, how he's reacting and responding.
Yeah.
And with that, that's when the cartels, that's when they're like, dude, how do you know how this dude's going to go, right or left? You don't know.
You don't know.
Yeah. You don't.
You don't know. You don't know if he's gonna send one guy in and just let him Steve Seagal you and chop you up with a samurai sword, or he's gonna bring in like Navy SEALs and blow you up, or if he's gonna bring in a ship and just blow you up. That you don't know, man.
Have you ever heard the media so quiet like yesterday?
That was, yeah.
When he told them to leave the room, they scrambled like little kids in trouble.
You could hear all the
But
papers.
did you see him? Did you see how orderly they were in the cabinet meeting?
No.
Oh yeah, dude, they played their part, bro.
Yeah.
They wanted to ask Elon questions, and he was like, "Wait a minute, he's still talking," and they were like, "Sorry, Mr. President." And yeah, dude, it was. And Elon is, he's such a genius, bro. He's a dork. You know what I mean? Like he's like, yeah, and this pen, I mean, dude, but it's just, yeah, man. I mean, no, I haven't.
Yeah.
Last 4 years have not been this way.
No.
And
People
I
are
mean,
joking,
I'm
saying
telling
that.
you, the only thing that can make the media any better, two things. Kimmel can stop crying.
Oh man,
Are you crying? Are you crying? That's
Okay.
not crying.
he's always crying.
And they take off The View.
Yeah.
That would just be perfect.
Dude, I heard those, though. It ended up not being true, but I heard all that. The Joy Behar, she got arrested at the airport stuff. And,
Yeah, I didn't hear it.
and oh, man, I thought it was true. And then I started digging in. I was like, oh, it's not true. I don't know if she's
How long
fired
have
or
we
not.
been on?
We're just going to hit an hour.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Now, let's pivot. There was a couple things. I wanted to just touch on something real quick because I don't think we'll last too long on this. The White House Correspondents Association. That's the internal side of the White House where everyone's sitting when they're meeting. The Trump administration changed that format because what it was the legacy media that ran that and would allow all those people that would sit in the chairs.
Yeah.
They dictated who would sit in the chairs.
Really?
They would have a private meeting. That council, they had an internal email setting of conversations prior to. They would determine who would sit.
Yeah.
And then all of the other and then out of, let's say, 50 outlets, they might have 4 conservatives, just so they could say, we have some conservative media here with us too. But they would be sitting usually in the back, but they would kind of try to rearrange it. So the White House stepped in and said, no, you're not running it anymore. The White House is now running and determining how that's going to be sat, how it's going to be put in order,
Really?
and all this stuff. So the left comes out, if you look it up, White House Correspondents Association.
House correspondent.
They started saying that the White House is dictating what media is coming out and in. They're suppressing free speech.
Yeah.
So that all of this blast comes out, and all the White House was doing is giving all those people that would be in the hallway, they couldn't ask questions.
Yeah.
They're giving them an opportunity now to sit in the front.
Oh.
Like all of the even
That's like the podcast seat
Yes.
that has been added in there.
Yep. They're allowing them to now participate to be able to ask questions instead of just CNN and all these other guys, and all the media stuff.
I remember when Caroline had said about that President Trump wanted to go ahead and add that seat, especially for podcasters, and they had over 1,000 different podcasters who applied to be in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and numerous, and they're going to have more than one seat. They just wanted to start off with one because he noticed how big of a difference podcasts are making in the world as far as media, more than CNN or Politico.
The View complain the most?
Absolutely.
They're like, how can they have these uneducated journalists? I'm like,
Yeah, whoopee.
really? You?
Yes. Look here, dude. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, but you are not educated yourself. I'm sorry, when I'm the smart one in the room, it's a sad day. You know what I mean? So I can go on The View and make them look foolish.
Are you crying? Are you crying?
And so the thing about it is, but that I remember when she had said that, and that's when I think I had sent the text out to you guys, like, "Hey, man, looks like one of us is going to the White House." You know what I mean? And so, but all jokes aside, one of the things that she explained was we just need to send it in, and you can send in it's pretty much like a resume.
Yeah.
And saying that who you are, and it's not about left or right. It's about free speech and free media.
Give you an opportunity.
Yeah. And so, what do you want to ask? And you can go there. You don't even need to say anything. You just go in there and sit right there in the room, come back, and then you give us all the details, and we do our research, and we just talk about it like that. You know what I mean? So I thought, yes, I completely agree.
Yeah, but that's I just want to throw that out there because I know the left side media has been throwing out suppression of free speech, that they're not suppressing anything. Yeah. They're actually broadening the opportunity for more outlets to have a voice. They're the only thing is they're restricting the CNNs and all that other stuff, but they're not even volume-wise, they're not even the highest content containers anymore.
No.
It's podcasters and other media outlets that are actually have much more viewing audience.
Yeah.
So again, something that a lot of people don't understand about Donald. He noticed that, decided to give it a platform, and there they go. And wait a minute,
Yep.
we don't like this.
Yeah.
China.
And that goes to that, the article of what I was telling you guys. It's late. We don't have to post it. But that, oh my gosh, the guy that's writing the book. I think I sent you guys. Did I send you a tweet on that? Let me see here.
What guy?
Let me find it. I'll find it right here. Hold on. You don't have to put it up, Justin. Jack Tapper.
Never heard of him.
So Jack Tapper's a CNN. He was a CNN host, and he's interviewing Laura Trump. And this is when Laura Trump was saying how why are you guys covering up Biden's mental dissonance? He's sick. There's something.
Oh yeah.
And he goes on to this whole defense saying he has a stuttering problem.
Yeah.
He's not sick. He's not a stutter. How dare you? And then because in the interview, Jake Tapper posts a video of a young kid who has a stuttering problem saying, I'm so proud that we could be represented. And he's a young kid.
Yeah.
And so he plays that and says, you're making fun of him. And Laura's like, what are you talking about? And nobody's ever said he had a stuttering problem.
Yeah.
When did that come out? When, out of all of these years, 525 years of Biden being in Congress, since the beginning of the United States, he's had a stuttering problem.
I know.
Now he's got a stuttering problem.
When he was younger, he was sharp.
Yeah, he was. I've heard him. In all the speeches
He was
stole.
an attorney, right?
I don't know, but I know he stole a lot of speeches.
Yeah.
When he was trying to run for president, that's why they kicked him out, because he got caught stealing speeches. But so that happens. And anyways, just to say, so Jake Tapper comes back now and he has a book being released talking about all of the information that was covered up about Biden's sickness. And this is one of the dudes that was on the forefront, like the White House Association, that was right there in the forefront pushing their message. And now he's going, hey, I want to write this book. Yeah. And I'm going to tell the whole story. Dude, you were the one covering it up. So no wonder they're changing the format of the media.
Yeah.
Because of garbage like this.
Sad.
What else?
Sad.
What's the thing you said you had a clip or something?
I just had a clip of Charlie Kirk, TikTok of Charlie Kirk.
You want to move on to that?
Yeah.
Make sure it doesn't stop recording. Let's see what happens.
Let's test it.
Oh. All right, go ahead, play.
Yes. What is a woman?
What is a woman?
Ooh, that's a tough
Oh,
one.
buddy. All right.
Oh, buddy.
So we define gender as a set of preferences that you have.
Already wrong.
Gender.
You foolish
Gender is a
people.
set of preferences we have. Woman is a social construct that we've agreed upon. Typically, we imagine womanhood as makeup or whatever. There is a difference between the word woman and being a biological female. Woman is a social construct that we use. Listen for a second. I'm telling you what it means. Woman is a social construct. We agree on these set of preferences. If I tell you that I'm a man, it's because I want you to know that I like these set of preferences. If I tell you I'm a woman, it's because I want you to know that I agree with these set of preferences.
Can men give birth?
Can men or can males? Because males can't. Listen for a second. If you listen to your bio professors, you would understand there's a difference between biology and what we think
So
about.
I want to thank you for proving a great point.
What?
You are why we should eliminate the Department of Education. Thank you very much.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Perfect timing.
All right.
I mean, it's just so sad, man. I was just having a conversation with a friend of mine about all this DEI and homosexuality and this and that and whatever and blah, 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 blah. And obviously for me, it stems from the word, right? The word of God.
Oh, okay.
Right. Okay. So that's why I don't agree with it. That's first and foremost for me. I try to make everything first start with the word of God. But the thing about it is like for me, what I was telling him was, this is all a choice that you have. And then I said, and then all the transgender stuff that they started making up within the last like 4 years. And then he went ahead and he was saying about, well, it's been the last 40 years. And I said, yeah, but we haven't seen it pressed the way that we did the last 4 years. And again, whatever, you want to make this up and do your own thing and just lie to yourself and whatever. That's your choice. It's your prerogative to feel that way. It's wrong, but whatever. I'm sorry that somebody lied to you, But the thing that I don't like is how it's forced upon schools in today, right? And we've talked about this in earlier episodes, and that was the whole thing. And so what the clip didn't show is that Charlie asked them in the very beginning, "You're a teacher, correct?" And then he said, yes. He said, okay, then what is a woman? And then that rant started. And that's why he was saying, like, and he's exactly right in what he said. It was funny for him and he blasted him and stuff like that. But it's very, very true when you listen to it. It's like, you're the reason why we need to get rid of the Department of Education. It's because of your prerogative. It's because, or not prerogative, but your agenda. It's because of your agenda and what you're trying to press and what you're deliberately lying to these little children. I heard a rapper say one time, he can't even pick his bedtime, but he could pick his gender.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, this is what they're telling him.
Yeah.
And this is just stupidity, bro. And it's just like, and I'm supposed to be okay with this. And then I'm the jerk who, like, makes fun of it because, I'm from Gen X and we make fun of everything. You know what I mean? So it's just, oh yeah, we were talking about it earlier and we were saying about the generation. You know what the generation is called? This generation is called?
What?
Alpha.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's like Gen X, that's us. Yeah. Then there's Gen Z. And then I think it's and now this generation, and it's Gen Alpha. And I'm like, dang, that's
Alpha?
That's the farthest thing.
Should have been Beta.
Beta!
But let me ask you guys a question.
That's all I got to say about that.
On the DEI side.
That's all I got to say about that.
Are you offended?
Yes. Yes.
Are you offended if somebody says, I'm not going to give you a leg up because you're Mexican? You're going to have to earn it.
No, I'm not offended.
Are you offended in that?
I'd be offended if they did. If they're like, hey, we're going to run a race, but since you're Mexican, we're going to give you a head start.
Exactly.
What? That's offensive to me.
Because it's like, okay, why are you giving me a head start?
Yeah. Why?
Well, because we know that your forefathers couldn't run. We know that you guys, as a Hispanic community, stature-wise, you're shorter, so your legs are just shorter. So because of that,
Are you crying? Are you crying?
Right?
There's no crying.
That's super offensive.
Yeah, it is.
I'm taking that head start.
It's like, nah, I don't care if my legs are shorter. Let me earn it.
Yeah.
I don't understand what's so offensive. And so on top of that, you just kind of, I've asked questions to my kids or even other people. Are you proud to be American?
Yeah, buddy.
Right? And it's crazy how the answers you get. Even today, I was talking to somebody and they made a statement to me, somebody that I know that I ran into them at the grocery store.
Yeah.
And so they I had this shirt on. And they said, "Oh, you a member of the NRA?" And I said, "Since I was 16, unofficially." And so we just kind of started talking. We were just kind of cutting up a little bit, and then and I made a statement of because they have some friends and family that live outside of the United States, and I said, "Well, how do they like that?" And they said, "Oh man, they love it. It's just so crazy here." And I said, "I'd rather be here than over there." And they're like, "Oh, man, well, but, and I'm like, no, dude. How do you not appreciate?
Yeah.
How do you not appreciate being here? And so when you take the DEI and it's like, no, we're here so we could have an opportunity and earn that. I don't care. I never cared if there was I never cared about banning podcasts that are against Christianity. I never cared about banning podcasts that spoke ill will of our community, the Mexican American community. So what? I don't care if you're a racist. I don't care if you're a Marxist. I don't care if you're a socialist. I don't care if you're communist. I don't care if you're skinhead. It doesn't matter. You want to speak your opinion, speak your opinion. I don't care. I don't have to listen to you.
Yeah.
And so when you get to the DEI stuff, it's like what you were saying. It's the forcing of that on our kids and on us, even in business. When you go into every year, I have to take the HR test. Oh my God, it gets worse and worse. And it's like I have to listen to this for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And that to me, that's the stupidity of it. Because it's like, dude, you're the problem.
Yeah.
You teach your people. You guys are whack, dude. And you're teaching.
Yeah, it's very, very sad, man. It's very unfortunate. And I told my buddy, I said, when all this started, I have young adult men, right? And so those are my children. I have a 16 and an 18-year-old. And
still in school.
I didn't, when I talk to them about any of this stuff, I didn't have to get into detail. We're having grown, conversations. But he has a little one. And I said, until he learns and can make the decision himself and fully understands what it is, you have to go through this. Mm-hmm. This is because of this last administration.
Yeah.
I never had the older two. I didn't have to have this conversation with the older two. You know what I mean? But is what it's going to be.
My thing is it's been two things with that people that have those alternative lifestyles. Number one is I'm like, if you're a grown person, do you? That has no bearings on me. Here's where the issue is when you want me to fall in line into your belief system. Yep. Mm-hmm. And number two, when it deals with children, that's where I draw the line. That's where I make it issue. That's where I have a problem with it, because other than that, everybody's going to live their own life. Yeah. We're all going to stand before God. Yeah. I'm going to stand before God by myself, not based on anybody else. Mm-hmm. But when you want me to you're going to tell me that the sky is red, and you're going to get angry at me when I say it's blue. And you just said, well, it's red to me. No, dude, it's blue. Yeah. There's no arguing. There's when it's like you're right and I'm right and we're all right. And no, the sky is a certain color and that's it. So that's my only issue is that because obviously people have come into the church from all walks of life.
Yeah.
Whether it's an alternative lifestyle, whether people have come that they brought their Sanchas in here. You know what I mean? Their side chick. You know what I mean? And I'm not like, oh, you can't come into here. Yeah. So that's not my business. My business is I'm going to share the gospel with you. I'm not going to do is micromanage anybody. Yeah. That's one thing that I never want to do is micromanage anyone. I'm not here to micromanage your life, your Christian walk, or anything. You're going to do. My thing is I'm going to preach the gospel. I'm going to teach what the Word of God says, and you do with it what you want. Yeah. It's not on my shoulders because I'm going to preach truth.
Yep.
And that's it. I can't micromanage anybody, nor do I want to.
But there's a difference, David, between everyone's welcome.
Yeah.
Anybody come in. The message is for you. This church, we will love on you, we'll help you, we'll be there for you in any way. But at the same time, here is the dictating factor.
Yeah.
I want to be an elder in this church.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, let's look at your life.
Yeah.
Well, but no, you can't judge me. Yeah, we can. We're actually supposed to.
Yeah.
And that's
judgment begins in the house of God.
Exactly. That's the dictating factor. To that degree, you have you want to live, dude, you can live however you want to live. And if you want to come in on congregationally and all of that, that's fine.
If you believe you're Scooby-Doo, whatever.
If you're a furry.
But if you're going to make me put Scooby snacks in the lobby where the cafes not gonna.
No.
Hey, Scoob. I'll call you Scooby.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So, but anyways,
we got 10 minutes.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if Tino has got 10 minutes, but
yeah, I was gonna say I might not have 10 minutes.
Yeah, because you got to get. It's 3:00.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. So, word from our sponsor is I went to the grocery store the other day, and I usually buy those little Crystal Light drinks. The sugar-free ones.
Yeah.
But they're expensive. They're almost like $4.
Yeah, go to the Dollar Tree.
Well, I went to Food for Less. Why did my TV turn off?
Uh-oh.
That's weird. Oh, it's back on.
Oh, Abraham's.
Russia?
So I went to Food for Less, and they have other companies competing with Crystal Light now. They're sugar-free, same flavors, and some are different. 99 cents.
There you go.
So
What's the name of the brand? You said.
I don't know.
Oh,
It's just go to the Crystal Light, and it's right next to it.
there you go.
So I had 3 boxes of Crystal Lights, which would have been $10. And I ended up buying 10 boxes instead of 3 of all these other flavors.
For $10.
For $10. In case you guys want to know. I'm just saying.
We had that question posted a lot quite recently.
Yeah. Everybody wants to know about the flavors.
Yes, and
So
you know,
anyways.
one of the other big things is that our sponsors have been, we've been noticing a lot is deep fried raviolis over at Olive Garden. You know what I mean? Like, I hear these things are absolutely amazing. I personally have told you already, I'd rather have COVID than eat those, but hey.
He
man.
will be a believer.
And this is where
A
we're
true
at.
believer.
So, Olive Garden, we thank you very much.
Yeah.
For doing what you're doing with this podcast. And please, everybody, go to your nearest Olive Garden and drop Let's Just Talk sent us. You won't get nothing for it, but we just want to let you know to let them know.
Do we want to spend 2-3 minutes on Epstein or no?
He has to get going.
You got to
I
get
got
going?
nothing.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
apologize.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on, so yeah. I
No
gotta go.
problem.
Finishing. You know, it's very unfortunate. Hopefully, you know, the biggest thing is, and we've been seeing it since the very beginning of sin, right? And unfortunately, it's going to be all the way until the end of the world. And what that is pride. And unfortunately, pride is what really screwed up a whole nation.
Yeah.
And hopefully these men can lose it for seconds, because that's all it takes, in my opinion. It takes for seconds of pride to be lost, and it'll make a world of a difference, literally. That's my ending.
All right.
Yep.
I'm good. I'm going to finish this. And do you want to finish it? Because I'm just going to finish it with one of Adam's beats.
No, I'm good. Other than I'd like to see if Zelenskyy comes back with a suit.
Yeah, I don't know. He's got to go outside of Burlington.
But I am interested to see, though, if that's public, how he addresses
Yeah.
the situation.
I mean, all joking aside, I don't think it was Burlington. I think it was Timu. But all right.
Peace.
See you later.
Thank you for episode 31.
Yeah. All right. Bye.